Hi, I'm Adam McCrimmon with XYZ Game Labs, and this is Arch Ravals. Arch Ravals is a competitive game set in the colorful and crafty world of fiber arts. There are 4 different crafting archetypes in the game, and each one of these is double-sided, so you have some choice about the type of character that you're going to play. In Arch Ravals, you have 2 main phases in your turn. There's an action phase and a restock phase. On the action phase, you're going to place your action marker on one of the 4 slots on your board. In this case, 4 spaces on your board. In this case, we're going to put it here, and we're going to shop 3. When we shop 3, that means we're going to take 3 cards from the Yarn Bazaar. So in this case, Derek might take these, and he would get 2 green, 2 yellow, and 2 yarn of any color from the yarn tray, and place that into his yarn bowl. Now, I'm not going to place all those now, just show you how this works. Now we've got 3 open slots in the Yarn Bazaar. That was our action phase. Now we're going to move to the restock, where we restock the bazaar. So in this case, we're going to reveal cards from the yarn deck. When we do, most of the time, you're going to get more yarn. Sometimes you're going to get events, and sometimes you're going to get special requests. When these come up, they are going to be, the active players are going to decide what to do with them. So in this case, we have an event. This is Tangled Cat. Derek's going to choose a player, and that player can't craft on their next turn. So he's going to put the kitty meeple in their yarn bowl, because the cat's playing with the yarn, so they can't craft. He's going to have to spend a turn getting that kitty out of his yarn. Then we have this special request. Now, when these come up, these are requests from friends or fans for unique or one-of-a-kind items. In this case, someone's asked for a blue and orange house scarf. Derek now has the choice. He can either keep this and make it himself on a future turn, or give it to another player and force them to make it on a future turn. Either way, whoever gets this special request is going to finish it before the end of the game, otherwise they will lose 9 3/4 points. So in this case, Derek's going to take it for himself to complete in a later turn. Now we have 2 slots open in the bazaar where we've already restocked it once. We don't restock it again. We leave these because for the next person, when they shop, these can be used as one of any color yarn. And then on their restock phase, they'll have an opportunity to fill the bazaar and reveal special requests or events. So that was starting the turn, or selecting an action, handling a event card, handling a special request, refilling the bazaar, and collecting yarn. So we'll move on to crafting, which is how you're going to make points and hopefully win the game. When you craft, you'll move your action marker to the craft spot, one of the spots with the crafting icon. The number here is how many items you can craft with that action. So Derek here is the master crafter, so he can make up to 4 items in a turn. In this case, he's going to actually, he doesn't have enough yarn to make 4 items. He is going to use, instead, he is going to try and make this scarf and this hat. So to do that, what he's going to need, unfortunately these were the wrong colors originally. You're supposed to start with 6 yarn, 1 of each color. He is going to need a green, yellow, red, and orange to make a scarf. So there's a green, yellow, red, and orange for his scarf. And then he'll need 2 different colors to make a hat, which he's got a blue and a purple, so he can make a hat. These would get returned to the Yarn Bazaar, and then Derek would take a hat and a scarf from the supply. Once you have these items, there's 3 things you can do with them in this game. 1, you can keep them. They're worth points. Yay, points. 2, you can discard them in the proper combinations to complete a project. So in this case, if he wants to complete Lumberjack, he could discard this 4-point scarf and this 2-point hat that's worth 6 points to instead get 13 points for the Lumberjack project. The third thing you can do with these items is for any of the 3 in the middle, you can learn these patterns to get better at making them on a future turn. So in this case, he could learn his scarf because he has a scarf. So to do that, he would discard this back to the supply. And when you do that, you flip this tile over, and now the tile's worth 4 points, so you didn't lose the points you would have for discarding the scarf. You keep your points, but now for the rest of the game, it only takes 4 different color yarn to make a scarf. And you can do that with all 3 of these middle ones. Sometimes it's good to do that, sometimes it's bad. It really depends upon the rotation in the game. So either way, you're going to go through the game making items, shopping, crafting items, completing projects by turning in those items, and you're going to move through this project list. When the project row looks like this, that triggers the end of the game. At that time, the active player will finish their turn, and then every other player is going to get one more shot to craft one item or finish one special request using the yarn that's left over in their bowl. Once we've done that, we move to points. You're going to add up your points for patterns you've learned, items you've created, projects you completed, special requests you completed. You're going to add up your points for those, and then you're going to subtract points for any special requests that you didn't complete or yarn left over in your bowl. Whoever has the most points wins. Plays in about 30 to 45 minutes, 2 to 4 players. And that's Arch Ravals.